just so everyone understands, you will not hear from somebody more qualified on this than me. Okay? You're talking 400 or 500 games in the English Premier League. And by the way, it's the roughest league in the world. And I got barged and I pulled people and I punched people and they punched. It's chaos.
Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. Volkswagen has long been a supporter of soccer in America and has proudly been a partner of U.S. Soccer for over 5 years.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into Unfiltered Soccer. He's Landon. I'm Tim. This is presented by Volkswagen. LD, what's happening, bro?
What's up, bud? Traveled last week and then went to Vegas this weekend.
Did you? For fun?
You ever been to Vegas?
Man, I only spent 36 hours in Vegas, max. What did you go for?
We went just like a couples trip.
Nice.
3 different couples. It was really fun, but I am shattered.
What's your game? What's your game?
I play blackjack. I play Pai Gow poker. My wife likes to play craps, but we just lose all the time. Yeah, but I'm like, you're just dumping money away, like, you know.
Well, you winning money? You winning money in blackjack? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Sometimes, not this time.
Good.
What are you up to?
I am. My daughter entered the transfer portal, so after we get off of this recording, I'm calling the NCAA because we need to have a conversation. So this whole thing is
it
incredible. It's a mess, bro.
It's the Wild West.
Oh God, it's adults making decisions for kids, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Familiar.
NCAA is wild. Anyway, so we're on a campus visit. So
okay,
good luck trying to figure out what art is behind me in the local hotels.
Someone's gonna figure it out. Yeah, there you go. All right, welcome into the show, guys. Follow on social media at Unfiltered Soccer. Make sure you subscribe, and follow the show, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a review, a message, a rating, all that stuff. And you can email Jordan, feedback@unfilteredsoccer.com. Reminder, we have 3 live shows this summer. LA, what did we say? Dallas, Atlanta?
Dallas,
New York. LA, yeah. Dallas, New York. The LA one is sold out, I've been told, but there is a wait list. So go to unfilteredsoccer.com/live. There is a wait list if anyone drops off. All right, let's start right in, Timmy. USMNT and USLNT. We are going to start with our guy, Gio Reyna.
Yep.
So I was surprised. I was doing my own thing in Vegas, and then we got a text from Andrew, and it was, I think, Andrew in the chat. Said, Gio scored. I was like, oh my God, Gio scored. So he played, I think, 33 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And scored. They lost 3-1, but this is a classic like excuse for a coach now to play a player. Mm-hmm. So they lose, they don't play well. He comes in and scores. I really hope he gets a chance to start next game.
Yeah.
I think we both agree he's going to the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like maybe, just maybe, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but maybe a little turning point here if he does get to start the next game.
Well, yeah, I think he's on the roster. You do too. This is the most minutes he's played. 33 minutes, most minutes he's played all season. Correct? Is that right? Anyway, certainly since the turn of the year, and he scores. And yes, it's an irrelevant goal in the context of the game, but this is the point we'll try and hammer home to our listeners. We've been in situations where your team is getting throttled, and you come in and you score the goal. That leaves a lasting impression. A small one, but maybe watch this space. We'll talk about it next week, but wouldn't be surprised if he earns more minutes or gets a start. That's what managers do. They try and shuffle the cards when things aren't going particularly well for a team. So anyway, yeah, fingers crossed that he gets more time.
We will pay attention to that, and if he does start next weekend and plays well, then that bodes really, really well for the national. I mean, that he could find himself in a starting lineup for sure this summer if that continues. Okay, so when we did our roster, what we think Pochettino is going to do, the 2 names, we'll get to both of them here, that they're probably mostly like people who just hate MLS and think it's terrible and all that, according to what you guys tell us in the group chat. First one, Alejandro Zendejas. So to be fair, he had a phenomenal game in their playoff game this week, and he scored twice and had an assist. They ended up losing in the playoff. But that's a hell of a way to leave the last impression, right? As your last game before the roster.
Yeah.
So were we wrong there? What, you think he finds a way in because of that? Do you think that that registers with Pochettino? Yeah.
I think it registers, and I do think leaving lasting impressions are important. LD, but like
Yeah.
I also think the manager's mind is made up at a certain
Right.
point. Can you do enough if you're one of like the 3 guys where you're the final roster spot and they're they're going to pick 1 from 3. Can you do something in the waning moments to get their attention? Sure.
Mhm.
Sure. But I also think they have, for the most part, their minds made up. I mean, you and I talked about this as we sit here today. I'm guessing Pochettino and his staff probably of the 26 roster spots. What do you think? They're pretty solid on 20?
4.
Okay, more than yeah.
Oh, I think there's more. I think
More.
there's only
Okay.
2 or 3 bubble guys would
Okay,
be my guess.
so
Because there's been
yeah.
injuries too, so that
Correct.
that eliminated some guys.
Right.
I think if Alejandro had been into other camps earlier, like Roldan and Berhalter and Aiden Morris and Tessman, I would have said, okay, potentially, but he hasn't been in at all, even when other guys weren't there. So he, for whatever reason, and people need to understand this about soccer specifically, but I think it's sports. For whatever reason, sometimes certain players are just not a coach's cup of tea.
Mhm.
And they might be really talented or insane at this one thing or great at that or whatever. There's just sometimes it just doesn't fit. And that I've learned that so many times watching great players not get picked for a team or for a
Yeah.
roster. It's just part of sports. And I know it's hard for fans because like, oh my God, he's playing in Liga MX. He scored 2 goals. Of course he's on the team.
Mhm.
But for Pochettino, he's looking at this long period of work. And for whatever reason, maybe it doesn't work. Now, we'll get to some injuries. And if, Tanner Tessman's out or
Yeah.
someone else gets injured, yeah, maybe he fits in. But
And
as of now, it just feels like he's on the outside.
And just to hammer your point home, not everyone is every coach's cup of tea. The other part of that is you can also get coaches who play a player every week, and you're like, why is this guy playing? He's not like he's not even that good. What do you love about him? There's just managers make their mind up about people, and that's okay. That's just how it works.
By the way, we're human too. So like, if you like the person, and I don't have the verbatim quote, but Pochettino, when speaking about Roldan, if people don't,
Yeah.
a lot of anti-MLS people don't like Roldan, for the national team, whatever, that's fine. Pochettino, I think he quoted saying he is the perfect player. Like if you were going to build a type of player. Now,
Sure.
is he more talented than some of these? No, but like
No.
that's what Pochettino values, right? So,
right.
So I sent you guys a message too. I had no idea Christian was injured. So it seems like maybe a high hamstring glute injury that he suffered in training. They say precautionary, but not good. It was not good to not see him in the lineup, and they ended up losing at home too. I'm not super concerned, but it's just another opportunity he missed to score. I want him desperately to score a goal before we get into the World Cup. That is my biggest 1, 2, and 3 thing is he needs to just hit the net one time.
Yeah.
Because it's just hard to turn on, man. It really is.
High hamstrings and glutes worry me.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. There's hamstring injuries, right? And then when you have a hamstring injury, lower is better or higher is worse or something. I can't remember the exact.
Higher, well, having experienced both, higher is worse.
Higher is worse. So,
for sure.
So high hamstring glute worries me. The fact that they said it's precautionary makes me happy. But I'm like, let's get that sorted out.
There's just been a lot of tumult there too, like at the end of the year with Milan. So let's hope he's okay. I think they only have 2 or 3 more games, maybe.
Yeah. Cotton wool,
again, and then 2 friendlies, and that's it, right? Yeah. So we referenced Tanner Tessman. He will miss the remainder of the season. I had a question.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop you. So there's 2 friendlies, right? And then this might be another conversation because you were going to Tanner Tessman. Do you think in those 2 friendlies we will see one our best lineups for both games? Another, I don't know how far apart they are, but
great question.
Or like will we see the same, like will we play like the same starters like for 60 minutes, let's say, right? And then the next game play the same starters for 60 minutes. Like, do you think we'll see that consistency, or are you like, no chance?
Tim, I have no idea. And this is of course we're a broken record and people are like, here we go again. But what would be ideal is if we knew the 12 or 13 who he was basically picking the 11 from by now. Meaning over the last 2 years, they had played 14 games together or started 12 games together. But right now, I have no clue. And if I'm him, I'm picking my absolute best team that I think is going to start the first game, and I'm playing them twice in a row. And maybe it's only 60 minutes, maybe it's 7, but I'm playing them twice in a row, 100%.
I'd like to see the back 4 or 5 be the
You know,
same.
the problem is though, Tim, is I'm not sure they 100% know what their best team is. And so they might still have to say, well, we need to see these guys in one game and these guys in another to decide who it's going to be. That's my worry.
That's
So,
crazy. All
right. So Tanner Tessman out the rest of the year with a muscle strain. So we'll see where that goes. My guess is he's still in, but we don't have a ton of info on these injuries. So we don't know if it's 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
If it's 8 weeks, it's a different story, right?
Yeah, we don't know.
All right, Timmy. So let's talk about Johnny Cardoso. And we know he suffered that high ankle sprain in training with Atletico Madrid. We just found out during the recording, actually, now that he is going to have surgery. And I haven't heard many times of a player having surgery on a high ankle sprain. Usually you just got to wait. I mean, that is obviously not a good sign. Maybe he goes to the World Cup, but I would say the chances are very, very, very slim.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think it's important that we walk you guys through because we want to help you understand how it is through a coach's eyes. And it's not always just the best player or the best player in that position. There are so many things that go into this. And a lot of you obviously were upset and, he plays for Atletico Madrid and all that. So let's just help you explain whether he goes or not. We'll see, but let's help you understand, what this all means.
But let me set the table so you can break it down. So just for you folks at home, Landon and I are looking at a chart of games dating back to, I believe the earliest is
this is
10, 12,
October
24.
of 24.
So October 24. And these are sort of like all the U.S. games that he could be a part of. So that just as a reference.
So this is why. So if I'm Pochettino, right, all you can do is look at the data you have. What he's done for Atletico Madrid, and he's been injured and he's in and out and whatever. It's amazing. He's playing for a Champions League finalist. Like or semifinalist. It's an amazing, amazing accomplishment. But Pochettino is saying when he comes in, here's what's happened. First one, he missed the window with a knee injury. The next one, he started the Nations League quarterfinal versus Jamaica, got subbed off after 21 minutes with an injury. He was then not called in for the next camp he had. He played in the CONCACAF. He was initially included in the squad for the Nations League, and then he had to pull out to an injury. He played 45 minutes in the 2-1 loss to Turkey, and if you remember, that's when he gave away the pass that led to the goal for Turkey, okay? Then he played 90 minutes, and we got pumped 4-0 by Switzerland. Again, this is the data that Pochettino has to go. Not available for the first match of the Gold Cup. He played 2 minutes versus Saudi Arabia and 9 minutes versus Haiti, and then did not play in any of the knockout stage games. We can think what we want. Pochettino's in camp with him, seeing him every day, decided not to play him.
Plays 11 minutes.
Played us 11 minutes in the Gold Cup. Not called in for the September friendlies in 25, unavailable for October because of injury, not called in for the November friendlies. Played the first half versus Belgium, and then left at halftime out of the game, discomfort in his leg, and was sent back to Madrid before wanted to go back to Madrid before even the next friendly. Okay, so I'm just giving you the facts of what's gone on. Is he talented? Yes, of course he is. But if you're Pochettino, you're going, I don't know if he's available. I'm not totally trusting that he's fully committed and wants to be here and do this just based on him pulling out, going out, coming out of the game, all these. I'm not convinced. And you go into a World Cup, dude, it is a battle, man. It's a grind for 6, 7, 8 weeks. You need guys who are all in. And if you're not all in, I'm not sure I can trust to take you. That's our point.
Well, the soccer terminology for these fans that gave us sticker called Euro snob. So what a Euro snob is anything that happens in Europe, and if a player's playing at a big club, then they must play for your national team. And look, maybe as you said, but again, I'm looking at the same chart, LD, you're looking at, and I there's just a lot of red. He's out with injury. He's not in the squad when he does play. Again, we're all allowed to have bad games, but Turkey, poor performance in 45 minutes. And as you said, the next game we get pumped 4-0. He plays a 90, and then from then on, there's 21 minutes in this game, 9 minutes in that game, 2 minutes, 45 minutes. Like, I would love to see on here 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 80 minutes. Like, there's just no consistency. So the people who are giving us stick going, you're out of your mind, maybe, but that's not what his history and what Pochettino is looking at when he looks at at Cardoso. Like he's also saying, Poch also watched Atletico Madrid on TV the other day. He watched it. He saw. He sees these games, but he also calls them in and sees them in person, which is more important. And that's what we're judging this on.
Look, again, I want to make it clear. I would still take him. I'm going to assume everything is good within the group. He's a good teammate. Guys like him, all that, because that's a massive factor. But sure. I would still take him. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. And if someone has info that I don't know that from that list, if you can point to some games he had that were amazing or something that we missed, please fill me in. But if that's the data I'm looking at, I'm like, I'm not sure. Right? I'm not sure. All right. So those seem to be the biggest question marks. You guys let us know. What do you think is, I guess, the most difficult one for Pochettino to make right now? Timmy, you think he's got 20 or 21 maybe locked up? I think it's more. Maybe more. I think there's only a couple. And again, he's taking the whole breadth of work. He's not watching these last couple games going, oh, that's the guy. But to your point, if there's one or two guys who are close and someone has an amazing performance, you go, okay, well, he showed me, right? So, and of course, if you do want to respond, you can either hammer us on social media or you can just email Jordan at feedback@unfilteredsoccer.com. All right, before we take a break, a reminder, on Friday, we have a really special episode. This was really fun to do. Tim and I got a list of national team players from the past and present in all different positions, and we had to draft a starting 11 for each of us. I'm not going to give any hints as to what happened.
I am. Tune in Friday and watch Landon get an absolute whooping. I won by a mile. But you guys you guys decide. I'll let you decide.
You guys decide, but I like my squad.
All right, guys. Not loves.
I adore my squad. All right. Remember, as always, to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will be talking about, Arsenal this weekend and what happened. Lots of controversy as they go for the double and all the chaos at Real Madrid. Man, there's a lot going on there. Right here on Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. The Unfiltered Soccer podcast is brought to you by Volkswagen. It's really easy to become a passenger in life.
Take control. Live life in the driver's seat. Learn more at VW.com.
Life. If we're not living it, what are we doing here?
Jump around. Jump up and get down. Jump.
So?
Let's go.
LD, MLS is back.
Yes, it is. And you know what that means? Saturdays are once again all about soccer.
Walmart is making Saturdays of soccer even more glorious with Walmart Saturday Showdown. From early practices to late night watch parties.
Yeah, Walmart and MLS bring every emotion of the beautiful game to Saturdays. Joy, nerves, excitement, and unforgettable golazos.
Walmart plays on Saturdays.
Who knew? This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. We've got seasons coming to a close and some massive, massive games on the horizon, and FanDuel is meeting the moment for all of us. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Place a $5 bet, and if you win, you'll unlock $150 in bonus bets that you can use on goal scorer markets, match results, over-unders, same-game parlays, and so much more. Don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/unfiltered to download the app and get started today. All right, Timmy. Premier League. Anything interesting happened this weekend?
Just a few things. Why don't you run this down?
A few things. All right, well, City did their bit. They won 3-0 against Brentford. They also they won their game in hand against Palace on Wednesday. Then we go to, what is it called? The London Stadium or whatever? The West Ham Stadium? Is that what they call it? They need a better name. All right, so we go to West Ham.
It's not their stadium, that's why.
Yeah, okay. Kind of boring-ish game. Not a lot going on for a long time. Then the 80th-ish minute hits. And first, West Ham have a big chance to score. Big chance. And good save by Raya. And then Arsenal come back. And by the way, when they put on Odegaard, like the whole game changed. He's so good, man. He is so good. I really hope that he's like stays healthy and he's in good form for Norway this summer because, man, he's good. So they score. Trossard scores. And then West Ham get a corner and score. I flipped the game back on because I was so upset. I turned it off. I turned it back on. I was celebrating. My wife's like, why the hell do you care about this?
Why are you celebrating?
I don't know. I just want Arsenal to suffer.
Why?
And I want Spurs to suffer. I don't know. I have problems, dude. I just like to see like chaos.
There's a lot of Arsenal hate out there. I will say there's a lot of Arsenal hate.
I know they hate me. It's reciprocal. So let's talk about this goal. So it's a corner's played in. And who was holding Raya? I forget, the big striker.
Pablo.
Whatever his name was. Pablo, yeah. So the ball comes and Raya goes to, I think, catch it. And Raya and Pablo's, especially when you see the slow motion and the screenshot of it, he's grabbed his arm. And so it gets deflected, bounces to the middle. Callum Wilson hits a great volley and scores. So I think most objective people would say, yes, it's a foul. Do you agree with that? Yeah. I mean, you're a goalkeeper, so maybe you're a little skewed, but like I think it's a foul, right?
Yeah, it's a foul.
Here's my problem, Tim. I'm going to tell you my problem. I've watched a lot of Arsenal games this year. The amount of times that they are grabbing, holding, pulling, pushing, fouling, impeding players, either on their attacking corners or defensive corners, is wild. It's like a theme of the whole season for everybody who's not an Arsenal fan. You're just like, this is wild. I want to give you a stat. Playing that way, combative, they have the least yellows in the league, 0 red cards. Good. Do you remember ever playing a season where your team had 0 red cards?
Well, they should, but yeah. They should have 0 red cards.
They should? Okay. 0 penalties against. So is there something going on here? Or is this just they play clean? It's circumstance. It's luck. What is this? What is this?
Here's what it is. It's stupidity. You want to know why? Because when Man City wins every year, you know what everyone says?
Same thing.
The referees love Man City. The Premier League want Man City to win, and therefore they get the rub of the green. You know what happens when Liverpool dominates the league and wins the league? You know what everyone says? Aside from Scousers, because Scousers are their own breed and love them. Everyone says, the referees, they love Liverpool. The league wants Liverpool to win. You know what happens in a year where Arsenal's in pole position? You know what everyone says? Do I have to even go into it? It's stupidity. So next year, whoever's leading the league, people will find stats that will become viral, and they'll go, oh, this is so unfair and so unbalanced. This is why the league wants Arsenal to win this year. No, they don't. Because, by the way, Arsenal haven't had a red card this year. You know what plagued Arsenal in seasons past? Red cards. So I have a feeling Mikel Arteta, who's a really good manager, and maybe the club hierarchy were going, hey, can we give ourselves a better chance to win the league because we spend a ton of money and we're a really good team? Can we stop getting red cards? So maybe they put a mandate on that. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it wasn't the footballing gods and the Premier League calling the referees and going, please don't give Arsenal a red card. It's stupidity. People just stop.
So when you say that, it reminds me, maybe the person I admire most in the football world, in soccer world in America, Nate Miller. We used to have conversations at Loyal, and we would sit and say, what's the XG for a penalty again? Like if someone gets a penalty against you, what's the XG? It's like 0.8 or something, right? And we can talk about XG and when it's good or bad or whatever. There's almost no other play in soccer that has a higher XG. Even if you're 2 yards out, because someone could block it, the goalie can save it. The chance that West Ham had is not 0.8 XG that Raya saves. So we would say to our players, there is never a scenario where you should give away a penalty kick. Never, because the penalty kick is going to be a higher chance. The guy's on a breakaway. It's still lower chances than him taking a penalty. Always. And to the same point, your chances of winning a game when you concede a red card go down significantly. So there's never I'm saying never in quotes, but like very few scenarios, maybe Luis Suarez's handball in the World Cup, where you should get a red card because it gives yourself a chance, whatever. So I think you're right, actually. I think they probably said, guys, no red cards, no pens, be really good on set pieces. aside from everything, they also play good football. And maybe we can win, right? And that's probably what's coming to fruition. I just think it's hard to watch when they have gotten the benefit. I'm not saying it's intentional, but they've gotten the benefit of many, many calls going their way in the boxes in particular.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm agreeing that was a foul by Pablo, but I can see why people get frustrated by it.
Well, let's put this to bed, because I don't want to leave this segment without giving the people what they want, and that is they want smoke because they want to give it to me. Just so everyone understands, you will not hear from somebody more qualified on this than me. Okay, you're talking 400 or 500 games in the English Premier League. Okay, and by the way, it's the roughest league in the world. And I got barged, and I pulled people, and I punched people, and they punched. It's chaos. And I spent all 90 minutes every time I played begging for referees to protect me, begging for calls. Some days getting them, most days, most years, never getting them. So I am the foremost authority in this. The fact of the matter is, we're talking about one play. David Raya was fouled. Now, I often say, because I've been there, LD. My producer reached out to me. I talked to Bex and the Robbies, and we chatted on, and I said, it's a foul. Would I have liked Raya to be stronger there? Yeah. Yeah, because I know that league. And I've said, if I'm not 110% strong on an aerial battle, there's a likelihood that whistle's not getting blown. It's just not. And so you almost have to protect yourself. So I would have liked David Raya to protect himself. The fact of the matter was, those players really didn't get off the ground. When you don't get off the ground and Pablo puts his arm across Raya's chest and he can't use his hands. Do I want him to be stronger? Yes. Is it a foul? 1,000% it's a foul. Now, people have sent things that, like, where in the first game of the season, Bayern Deer went up to punch a ball and he got impeded. What I'm saying to you, if you're watching this visually, as a goalkeeper, we are taught, if I'm going to punch it with my right hand, you get your left hand up on top of someone's shoulder, you push them down, and you punch. You use that strength, right? That leverage, right? And in that case, I'm saying, well, then you have the leverage. If you're not strong enough, that's your fault. It's not a foul. But when Raya really hasn't gotten aerially, and Pablo they're both kind of on the ground, and he puts his arm across his hands, and he can't use his hands, that's a foul. Now, people will also point, because we have to go back to this, right? Because it's obviously this conspiracy theory where the Premier League wants Arsenal to win. Declan Rice at the back post, I think, has two players. I think one of them was he has Somerville, and he sort of ragdolls Somerville, which you're allowed to do. And then I think he then switches on to Mavropanos, and he sort of, LD, wraps his arms like in a dancing motion, like a prom picture. He like wraps his arms around him. But LD, that's not a foul. These aren't foul. Like, this isn't. I'm not making this up now. This is the letter of the law, because I watch the Premier League and we talk to PGMOL and we watch it every week. These aren't fouls. In fact, the infraction now states you're allowed to pull a jersey and make contact as long as it isn't prolonged. And by the way, LD, just for people listening, prolonged isn't watching a slow motion replay. Okay? Real time. So you're allowed to wrap your arms around players. You're allowed to pull jerseys. This is real. This isn't Tim Howard making it up. As long as it's not prolonged. Okay? And as long as you're not dragging someone to the ground and the ball's in the vicinity. So people are so nitpicky. They're like, yeah, but that's not a foul there. But what about Declan Rice? None of it. The referee got this right. It's not a conspiracy. It's not they want Arsenal to win the league. This particular call. Now, if you start pointing to other things, LD, then we can say, sure, the refereeing is inconsistent.
No, you're saying in this, and I said that too.
We can agree that the referee might be inconsistent. They're human. On this particular call, VAR got it right. Referee didn't get it right. VAR got it right. So send me your smoke.
I can't wait to read the mailbag next week from Jordan.
Either.
Do you think they beat PSG in the Champions League final?
Ooh. I don't. I think they win the Premier League, but I don't think they win the
I agree with
final.
that. I agree with that. Okay. La Liga. Barca, Real Madrid, Clásico. Barca won 2-0 without Lamine Yamal. You just saw it coming. Like, you knew it was going to happen. First time in, I don't know, almost 100 years, I think, that the La Liga title was decided during the Clásico. But let's talk about, congrats to Barca, all the things, all the flowers. What is going on at Madrid? And so I actually didn't realize all this till Andrew put it all together. But Kylian Mbappe on his way out, there was an online petition.
Is he on his way out? What do you mean?
Well, I think he's on his way out, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, he's arguing with the coaching staff. He's like, he was hurt and took this trip to I think Sardinia, and it wasn't like, fans don't like that stuff. By the way, I remember when someone would get hurt at Everton. This blew my mind. This had never occurred to me. Like Jack Rodwell got hurt or something. He was out 6 weeks. He said, "Jack, go to Dubai, go to Spain. I'll see you in 3 weeks." Because
Take the physio,
mentally,
pay for his trip.
yeah, it's amazing. Everyone does it, so just get over that. They had an online petition that they were hoping to get 200,000 signatures on. They got over 20, maybe over 30 million now signatures on Mbappe out, which is probably all the just other teams.
It's all the Barca fans
not wanting to play anymore
around the world. Yeah.
Rudiger was said to have gotten into an altercation with Carreras, and then there was the Valverde Tchouameni. Tchouameni ended up going to the hospital. He had, Valverde went to the hospital. Some version of a concussion after they got into a fight. They were each fined 500,000 euros. I've never seen anything like that.
Not being funny. If I get fined $5,000 euros, someone better be going to the hospital with a concussion.
It's insane.
That's a lot of money, bro. It's a lot of money.
500,000. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out what is going on there. It feels like since Ancelotti left, it's just been a mess.
Ancelotti was the figurehead. I laughed with you off camera where Xavi Alonso was the problem, right? He almost single-handedly changed German football, went back to a club where he had tons of success, and it was his fault. Let's get him out. Yeah, okay. That's what happens. It's a mess. Real Madrid needs and that's why, like, when you hear, like, Jose Mourinho is rumored to go back, and everyone's like, well, that's dumb. You're like, is it?
No,
these kids need babysitters.
Yeah, you're right.
They need adults in the room. They do. Do they need a tactician? Maybe. They need a babysitter.
They've almost become like just too powerful. The players are just
too
powerful. When Ancelotti was there was like this he was like a godlike figure.
Yeah.
There was so much respect for him. And now it just feels like they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mess. But, I think sometimes, and we've seen this in football and we've seen it in international football as well, like maybe with Barca winning the trophy during the El Clasico, that's the watershed moment where you're like, we need to figure some other things out. Maybe. Who knows? Real Madrid does their own thing.
All right, Timmy, it is time for the Unfiltered Refresh, sponsored as always by our friends at Coors Light. Choose chill, get Coors Light delivered. Go to CoorsLight.com/USF. Okay, the GOAT chose chill again, Timmy.
Obviously.
Who's the GOAT?
Lionel Messi. He always chooses chill. I'm trying to think when he did. No, it's hard not to pick him every week, but here we are.
He had a goal and 2 assists over the weekend. Ho-hum. You know, what people don't realize, Tim, you always say, like, a great ratio for an attacking player is like 1 in 3, a goal in every 3, maybe a goal and a half, or a goal/assist and a half every 3 is pretty amazing. Another goal and 2 assists over the weekend. He became the fastest player to 100 goal contributions in MLS history. It took him, this blew my mind, 64 games to score 59 goals, almost a goal game, and have 41 assists. And you know what else, Tim?
Yeah.
When we were playing in the beginning, remember how they had the second assist?
Yeah.
So, like, if you passed it to the left back who humped it forward and the guy scored, you'd get an assist.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many assists he'd have if he got second assist too?
I'm glad I don't. Here's why. You know what the crazy thing is, LD? Here's why I think Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, who chose chill this week, are the 2 greatest players of all time, and they're going to be so hard to surpass. Numbers alone. You just said it, which is what we believe is a formula. If you score 1 in every 3 games, you're a top goal scorer globally. Globally. Mm-hmm. This guy, and by the way, this isn't MLS numbers. He did this for a decade and a half. He and Cristiano Ronaldo went back and forth. They were scoring between club and country over a calendar year for like a decade. And I'm going to go back and look at it. They're scoring like 40, 50, 60 goals. You get what I'm saying? They're not even strikers, by the way. They are not even strikers. So Erling Haaland, who we think is brilliant, and he is like falling short of those numbers. Okay? So when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, where is the next person going to come from that consistently scores essentially a goal a game everywhere they go? everywhere they go. It's
I
a
hope we
god.
just appreciate what we have now with this. It's like Jordan in the 90s. Like, do you know what you're watching? This
That's
is
what I'm
just
saying. Like,
it's
'cause the other-
all-time great.
as you were reading that out, Landon, talking about like, yeah, 59 goals in 64 games. Wow, that's impressive. Oh, wait, we're not done. In that same span, he dishes out 41 assists.
I know.
So it's not like he's just focusing on like, oh, it's all about me. Let me
It's
score. It's insane.
Andrew asked trivia, who had the record before him? I'm going to say
Roy Lassiter. That's a bad guess.
that's a bad
Bad
guess.
guess.
It's someone modern. I'm going to say either Joseph Martinez or
Ooh,
Robbie
good shout.
Keane.
Good shout.
Sebastian Giovinco. 58 goals, 42 assists in 95 games. Okay. Anyway, Lionel Messi, congrats to you, my friend, for choosing chill. You could do it every week, but this week especially. Congrats. All right, it is stoppage time, sponsored by FanDuel. New customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. It is time for the FA Cup final. City against Chelsea. I cannot believe Chelsea are in the FA Cup final with how bad they've been lately. City in great form, still fighting for the title. We'll see what happens there. It looks like Arsenal are going to win it, but City also trying to make up for last year, losing to Palace in the final. That will certainly have stung. This will be Chelsea's fourth FA Cup final since they beat Manchester United, to raise the trophy back in 2018. I don't see any scenario other than City winning this game pretty handedly. Chelsea just in a bad way. They draw Liverpool okay, but they've just been a bad run of form, and they just feel like they're a little bit on vacation now. Good players, top pros, they'll get up for the game, but I think City win this game. Unfiltered Soccer's FA Cup same game parlay this week is, of course, City to lift the trophy. Jeremy Doku, who is in scintillating form heading into the World Cup this summer, he will score, have an assist, including extra time. Both teams to score? Absolutely not. I don't think Chelsea score. I think City have all the ball, dominate the game, and I think they win by a few goals. Erling Haaland to have 2 or more shots on target, that's a no-brainer. That includes extra time as well. I think that absolutely happens. Don't forget to check out the full list of Unfiltered Soccer same-game parlays on our socials later this week. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, it is time for the AT&T Fan Connections. We will hear all of your questions right here on Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. This episode is brought to you by Airbnb. So, Tim, we spent a lot of our lives traveling the world for the game, staying in all kinds of places, making memories everywhere along the way. Travel's always been a huge part of the soccer experience.
Yeah, it always has been a huge part of it, LD. I remember you and I being on buses and planes, particularly with Bruce Arena. And he would always pass out those notes. Remember? Handwritten notes.
Yeah.
Right? He wasn't texting
So
anybody.
old school. Right.
Old school. And he had his pad and pen, and he'd write you a handwritten note about how you did it during the camp, what he expected of you, coming, in the upcoming camp. Sometimes he'd say like, come up to my seat and let's have a chat. And so there was always, that travel sort of always reminds you of the game.
Yeah, I remember those long walks down the bus corridor, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're going up to talk to Bruce." Some of those are the best, and of course, the worst memories. It's funny, that same connection between travel and big moments isn't just true for the players; it shows up for all the fans too. When big events like tournaments or concerts bring energy to a city, thousands of fans come in looking for places to stay. If you're planning to be away, it could be the perfect time to make the most of it and list your space on Airbnb to meet that demand and make some extra cash.
Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
Tim, you know that feeling when you lift a trophy, the most amazing moments. You've worked so hard all year with your teammates, and finally you win, you achieve something, and then you celebrate. Back in the locker room, of course, champagne, but busting open a Coors Light and enjoying with your teammates is the best way to do it, because Coors Light is the most refreshing way to celebrate every goal this summer. And when you celebrate, you'll have a chance to win your next beer by visiting CoorsLightSoccer.com.
Interestingly enough, LD, I didn't win as many trophies as you, but I did win a lot of games. I did win a lot of games. And that was like such a nice reward for working hard all week, training. The games were usually nasty. Weather wasn't great, particularly in Europe. And I always loved coming in the locker room, listen to the manager speak, and then it was time to crack open the cooler and drink a Coors Light. And as you knew, when the mountains turned blue, your beer was as cold as the Rockies.
To learn more and play for your chance to win, visit CoorsLightSoccer.com, and remember to pick up Coors Light pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Coors Light, more goals, more celebrations.
No purchase necessary. Starts 4/30/26 and 7/31/26. Open to 50 states and DC, 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. See official rules at CoorsLightSoccer.com. Sponsor, Molson Coors Beverage Company, USA, LLC. Prizes awarded as Venmo payments. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Timmy, as you know, in soccer and in life, there are those moments where everything comes down to connection.
It's that call to your family right after a big win, the text before kickoff when the nerves hit, or watching the match from halfway across the world, feeling like you're right there in the stadium. Those are the moments that matter most.
And when the connection matters, it has to be AT&T, because it's not just about having service, it's about showing up when it counts. Whether you're watching the game at home or on the move, AT&T helps keep you connected to what matters most.
Yeah, because soccer isn't just about 90 minutes on the pitch. It's about the highs you celebrate, the losses you ride out, and every message, call, and shared reaction along the way.
So wherever the game takes you, make sure you've got a network you can rely on. Visit att.com/y-ATT to learn more. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
It's time for the Fan Connection presented by AT&T. Every week we invite you, the listener, to connect with us by submitting your questions. At AT&T, connecting changes everything. And on USMNT, our connections with you will help grow the game. It's time for the AT&T Fan Connection. Sort of, kind of, a little bit everybody's favorite time of the week. Jordan, you're back. Got a Romeo and Juliet shirt. Don't know what that is. Is that a band?
You've never seen
Never
Baz
heard of
Luhrmann's
Romeo and
Romeo and
Oh,
Juliet?
you talking about the Baz
90s?
Luhrmann one? No, I haven't
Yeah,
seen
like
that.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I can't
cool.
remember everybody's name in this. Yes, it's very good.
What's happening?
Anyway, I have some USMNT questions for you.
All right, let's.
To consider
Hey, by the
this
way,
week.
can you believe we're a month away from the World Cup?
Crazy.
Please, I'm so stressed out about it.
We're a month away. This is insane.
You know what I'm really, really, really excited about is and I know we went back and forth on when we should do live show. The fact that our live show is after the first game.
I know.
People are going to be sky high, or we're going to have to peel them off of
it's
the
gonna
floor
be like Armageddon. I know.
based off of a result.
Yes.
And it's going to be amazing just to have, like, had we done it before, it'd been fun, the build up, but
No,
like
you're
we're
totally
actually
right.
physically going to have
You're right.
a game. I'm going to be in the stands.
As much as I hate to say this, though, I'm a little bit more excited for the show the night before the final, because I think you guys talked about this last
Yeah.
week. Like, you've never been to a final before.
Correct.
Like, being in New York
It's gonna be
City
wild.
the night before the
Wild.
final is going to be crazy.
Wild.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's
it's gonna
going
be
to be a lot
awesome.
of fun. Also, before we get started, Tim, could you please show the people the shirt that you're wearing?
Good.
Right
You guys,
Good.
you guys
So
didn't see
cool.
the Mobb Deep with the Mets
So
logo?
Mobb
Let's
Deep
rock,
Mets shirt.
man. That's how we roll. If you don't know who Mobb Deep is, we're not
Love it.
friends. That's just how it goes.
They're getting added to the playlist this week. Don't worry.
Shook ones.
Okay,
Let's go.
here we go. The first question is from Chris via email. And the question says, my question is this: who did not have a proper U.S. soccer send-off who was deserving of one? Landon had his in Hartford that I attended. I know why Clint didn't. He wouldn't want it. I feel like Tim Howard, Michael Bradley, and Jermaine Jones deserved one. It seems more common with the U.S. women's national team.
Well, Clint would want one. Every player wants one. I think sort of the end of our era was us not qualifying for the World Cup in 18. So U.S. soccer did a terrible job and sort of was just like, we're getting rid of those guys, you know. And I've been and me, I was old. Who cares? I had glory. I ain't worried about all that. But you know, certain guys deserve that. Certain guys deserve the end to sort of have a
You know
send
what,
off.
Tim? This is a great question. And there has been, until recently, and I will say this has changed at US Soccer, there has been a lack of appreciation for the history and the people who did it. And so there are lots of people, by the way, who deserve a send up, like retrospectively, for sure. And I think there needs to be some sort of criteria or something that does so, because I told you guys, I went to Kobe Jones's statue unveil at the Galaxy. I can't tell you how much joy that brought me to watch him be recognized for what he did. And all of you, Clint, Michael, there's so many in the early days, right? He's the all-time cap leader. Like, people need to be recognized and respected for sure. For sure.
It's not,
It's a great
unfortunately,
question.
the
So
way
who should be next? I think it should
well,
be you and Clint.
well the way and I think
And
the way
Michael.
the question is formulated is you sort of got a send off game. The problem
Yeah.
is it's not always as easy as that.
Yeah, no, I know that. But I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
can you just like Michael was honored.
And
at
I
one of the
was honored
games.
the same as Michael.
And you were too.
So-
Yeah, it's a
so
good point. It's hard with the
myself, I
national
think
team.
Bees might have. They bring you out before the game. It was beautiful. My family was there, friends.
Yeah,
They give you a beautiful framed jersey, and there's a ceremony. It's nice. It's great. And I think U.S. Soccer's brought that back. So I think Michael got one. I certainly got one. Don't know about Clinton,
No,
but they
but
all
to that
deserve it.
point, I think at the end of an amazing career, certainly guys like Christian and Weston, if he keeps going, and guys who really fully deserve that, you can do it in a friendly right at the end of their career, and you can put them on
Yeah.
for a minute, and it's
I think
not
so.
hard to do. It's
I
not
think
hard
so.
to do because you make the rules in the friendly. If you want to have 11
Of
subs,
course.
you have 11 subs, right?
Of
So
course.
I think we need to keep that front of mind going forward. I do.
Okay. Next question is from Crystal via email. And Crystal says, "Hi, Landon and Tim. My question for you guys is if you could choose 2 active players from any country to play on the current USMNT squad, who would it be and why?"
Okay, first I'm thinking, who do we need? What do we need? We need a center back. So I'm going to say Virgil van Dijk.
Ow, ow. Sorry.
Shut up.
Terrible. Terrible.
And as much as it pains me to say it. And what else do we need? I mean, we can always take an attacking player. We'll take Mbappe. Why not?
It's a good
Can we?
shout. I was going to say, but
Or do
I
you
would
need a
pick.
goalie?
I'd pick Holland for sure.
What about Flo?
I would pick Holland for sure. They can play in a 2, or you can play wide. You're not picking Holland. Come on.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and
Goalkeeper or center back?
No, I don't know.
Virgil?
No, I wouldn't pick a center back. Maybe not.
Really? How much better we'd be with like a top center
Like
back.
Saliba. Yeah, I'll take Saliba.
Ooh, Gabriel.
good. Yeah, Cadillac.
All right.
I can't believe neither of you said Messi.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's
You
an easy
know,
one.
Argentina has Messi, but we have Paul Rothrock here
We
in
do.
America. Okay, we don't need Messi.
True.
Okay. One more.
Yeah,
Uno
get
mas.
rid of 'em anymore. Whatever you want.
This one is from Greg via email. And Greg says, "After hearing everyone's list of who will be included on the U.S. national team for the upcoming World Cup, I am curious as to whom you would pick for a co-ed squad of U.S. national players, especially Jordan's pick." So, this can be current or past players. Would you entertain the thought of organizing a charity match with these
That'd be
players?
amazing.
That'd be great.
So
We
they're
should have a
saying
charity match.
Wait, a co-ed squad of 26?
I think they mean like a starting 11.
Of 11? I was going to say, this will
men and
take me
women
all
from the
day to
US.
figure
Yeah,
out.
it's too long. Too
Yeah.
long. It's a good question. It's too. Yeah, I mean,
It's too long to answer, but maybe we put out a graphic.
yeah,
do
we
some
could do
homework after this. I know
Yeah.
Carly's in mine. I know Michelle Akers is in mine. Trying to think who else.
I would still put Tim in
I
goal,
have
though.
Tim in goal.
that.
Yeah, I want to do this extra. Okay, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do
That's
a
fun,
graphic.
yeah.
Sorry, we can't tell you right now. I'm just telling you those.
I think-
those ones are in my head.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
in my
good.
squad immediately.
I tell you what we could do. We
What?
should pick LD a co-ed squad best 11 like we just did.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
because
Can we
that
do
gives us
that?
22 options. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, a
it'd be
full
great.
squad.
No, just mean you pick 11.
Oh,
I'll
you
pick
pick.
11.
Okay. Perfect.
Same
We're gonna
same
do it.
difference.
I love
We're
that.
on it. Let's go.
It's
That'll
amazing.
Okay,
be
Greg,
perfect.
watch the
I
socials
love
for
it.
this
That'll
one.
be perfect after
If
our men's all-time 11. Okay, cool.
if you have a question, or whether it's about U.S. men's national team or MLS or Premier League, doesn't matter. You can send it
Where
to
can they
feedback
send it, Jordan?
at unfilteredsoccer.com.
Feedback at
All
Unfiltered Soccer.
right.
I can't
Thanks,
believe
Jordan.
I
guys.
just chose a Liverpool player. All right,
It's
bye,
amazing.
Jordan.
Good for you.
That was so dumb. All right, mate. Great show. We are a month away. Wow, that is crazy. Thank you all for being with us today. As always, please subscribe on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, or anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Make sure you follow the show on all social media platforms at Unfiltered Soccer for all of the bonus content. Thank you, as always, to VDub, our Fan Connection sponsor, AT&T, and our Stoppage Time sponsor, FanDuel.
Yeah, thank you also to our Unfiltered Refresh sponsor, Coors Light, and our additional sponsors, Airbnb and Walmart. Have an amazing week. We'll be back next Tuesday with another edition of Unfiltered Soccer.